From bustling cities like Cairo in the Sahara Desert to beautiful beach towns along the Red Sea, from small oasis villages to cities packed with ancient history, Egypt is full of wonders and an incredible country to visit.
My name's Giselle. I'm an American living in Cairo, and today I'm going to be explaining to you some very useful information that will help you when you first land in Egypt. How does getting a visa work? Should you go to an exchange office? Should I get a local SIM card? Is it best to take Ubers around the city? Shukran. What's the best neighborhood to stay in Cairo? I'll be answering all of those questions and more, so yalla, let's get into the video.
Visas.
To get the most up-to-date and accurate information, make sure to check your government's website for your visa requirements and eligibility, as different nationalities, of course, have different requirements. Canadians, for example, were able to get a visa on arrival until quite recently. Now they are unable to do so and must apply for a visa in advance due to a political spat between Egypt and Canada. So make sure to always check your government's website for the most up-to-date information. If you are eligible for a visa on arrival, it costs $25 and must be paid in cash. But I actually already made a video about how to do that in great detail. So I will be leaving the link to that video up here if you are interested in watching that. And I will soon be making a video about e-visas, how to apply, the requirements, all that jazz. So whenever that video is done, I will also be leaving the link up here. I'll be leaving all sorts of links to other videos I've made with more detailed information on each topic. So make sure to check the description of this video at the end so you can have a list of those links.
Money.
Should you withdraw money from an ATM? Should you go to an exchange office? I personally always withdraw money from an ATM when I'm traveling, but you should check your bank's international fees and charges because of course different banks have different charges and some of them can be quite expensive at times. Side note about using your card in Egypt, a lot of places will charge an additional 3% charge when you are using your card. So if the hotel or restaurant does this, they will let you know in advance, of course, but it isn't entirely uncommon, just so you are aware of that. If you are planning to exchange money, whatever you do, do not exchange money in your departure country. The exchange rates abroad are a complete rip-off, and you will not be getting the exchange rate that you should be. I've spoken to people that exchanged money before coming to Egypt in their home country or in their departure country just for peace of mind, to be more prepared, but it is a very bad exchange rate. So just wait until you get to Egypt. You can do it at the airport or within the city. Exchange rates and fees are better outside of the airport, which is pretty typical all over the world. But if you do want to exchange a little bit of money just for a taxi or something like that, you could do that. Or you could just use your card and pay for an Uber with your card. Or you could also change a large amount of money in the airport. That's entirely up to you. Where do I exchange money? I'm standing outside an exchange office here very close to Tahrir Square in downtown Cairo. If you want to visit this specific location, I'll leave a link in the description of this video with that location. But again, you can visit any bank or a different exchange office as well. If you're a budget traveler and don't spend a lot of money in one place, you could ask for some smaller bills while you are exchanging money, because a lot of times they will give you 200 bills, which is quite large depending on where you're buying something. So it can be useful to have smaller change. I'm talking about if you're buying something at like a street food cart or something like that, they might not always be able to break this large bill. So just a suggestion, if you are budget traveling and not spending a lot of money, is something that you could do. One more thing to note, Egypt is facing economic hardships, and many people would appreciate being tipped in dollars or euros. So if you are just traveling for a short amount of time and you are doing in an environment where tipping is expected, I'm talking tour related things, so tipping guides, drivers, or hotel wait staff, bellboys, things like that, feel free to tip in USD or euros. I'm sure people would appreciate that.
SIM cards.
I highly recommend having some sort of mobile data just so that you can order an Uber, navigate the city on your own, find historical sites and good restaurants and etc. Just whatever. But also because the internet in Egypt, the Wi-Fi is not that great. So yeah, I've even spoken to people that have stayed at mid-range hotels down near the pyramids, and they were unable to connect to the internet in their room or on the rooftop. It only worked in the lobby. It was really slow. So if you want to have a better connection, I would recommend having mobile data by getting a local SIM card. You could pay for some international package from your home country, but honestly, that's going to be a lot more expensive than just getting a local SIM card. And I'm not sure if Uber works with an international number. You might need a local number to use the app. I can't say with positivity if that is true or not. Maybe it works with an international number, but I always get a local SIM, so I don't know. The SIM card packages and buying a SIM card here is also very affordable. So you can buy a SIM card and buy a large package of data for a very reasonable price. You can get a SIM card at the airport near the baggage claim belts. You'll see small kiosks with companies such as Vodafone, Orange, a few others like that. Or you can get your SIM card in the city center. The prices in the city are going to be a bit cheaper than at the airport. Of course, everything is always more expensive at the airport. And you may also get offered better deals within the city as well. But where you get your SIM card is up to you. If you do want to get your SIM in the city, there are different shops all over. Right now I'm in downtown Cairo, outside 4 different carriers conveniently located right next to each other. So you have Vodafone, you have Orange, you have We, and you have Etisalat as well. I actually already made a video about these SIM cards and show their prices and what I think the best company is. Spoiler alert, I think it's either Vodafone or Orange. But you can check that video out with all that information just to give you an idea of price packages, what you can be offered in the city versus the airport. Link is up here. I will also leave a link with the location of this area in downtown in the description of the video in case you want to come here yourself.
Leaving the airport.
If you want to arrange an airport pickup with your hotel or hostel or tour agency, they can easily do that. That is, services offered almost everywhere. However, it is more expensive than just taking an Uber. I think most hotel pickups charge around $25 US. I think that's to go to like downtown Cairo, whereas an Uber will charge you maybe $7, $8, $9, something like that, depending on the time of day, of course. But yeah, a significant price difference from an airport pickup service from your hotel or something versus just ordering an Uber yourself. So if you're on a budget and want to be cost effective, Uber is a good option to get around the city. It is fast, it is cheap, and you will not be ripped off by the white street taxis that are driving around the city looking for a ride or waiting outside the airport entrance like a bunch of sharks. If you are landing in Cairo Airport and want to take an Uber, you will probably need to go to the parking lot to catch it. You very rarely can catch an Uber directly outside the main entrance of the airport. But the parking lot is very close to the entrance of the airport. It's about a minute walk, so not far at all to get there, where Uber is allowed to pick you up. If you are landing in Cairo Airport, there are 3 terminals into which you may arrive.
If you arrive in Terminal 1, also known as the Old Airport, just walk into the parking lot and order an Uber there. If you arrive in Terminal 2, you may be able to catch an Uber directly outside of the airport entrance. However, you may receive quite a few cancellations from Uber drivers as they struggle to find how to navigate their way to Terminal 2. So my suggestion is to walk down to Terminal 3, which is just a 2 to 3 minute walk or less, and catch the Uber over near Terminal 3, as that is where most of the Ubers are waiting to pick people up. If you arrive in Terminal 3, you just need to walk outside the airport doors, cross the 2 streets, and you will see the parking lot down below. This is where to catch an Uber. But be aware, numbers are different here, so you won't be able to read their license plate unless you know the numbers. I'll be making a video about Arabic numbers soon. I'll put the link up here when it's done. If you don't want to pay to be picked up by your accommodation or take an Uber, one tip is to just put in your destination on the Uber app without pressing send, just so you can see how much Uber would be charging you, and then you can barter or haggle with the white taxis on the street to get it close to the price that Uber would be charging you. They're likely not going to go as low as Uber, but you never know. It's worth a shot, and at least you have a better idea of what you should be paying for the taxi. Where to stay? I always get asked about safety. I think almost anywhere you are staying in Cairo is going to be safe, but I personally prefer staying in downtown because of its proximity to the many ancient sites that you will be visiting while you are here, as well as a vibrant nightlife, lots of cafes and restaurants to choose from. So yes, it's just a very active area with lots of things to do. However, some people do complain about the noise, which, to be honest, in most parts of Egypt, it can be difficult to avoid some sort of noise level, whether that's the sounds of traffic, or a market, or people shouting outside, or dogs barking, cats yowling. That is something that you will probably experience while you are here. I'll tell you more about downtown Cairo in just a moment. If you prefer a quieter neighborhood, consider the island of Zamalek, an island on the Nile very close to downtown Cairo. Zamalek is an affluent neighborhood of Cairo, and the island is filled with trees, embassies, and many foreign restaurants. The Pyramids in the city of Giza is of course another very popular place to stay while you are visiting the cities. Giza is actually a city on the other side of the Nile from Cairo. So most people say they are in Cairo, whether they are in Giza or in Cairo, but the Pyramids of Giza lie in the city of Giza. I understand wanting to stay near the pyramids, to wake up and look out your window and see the majestic pyramids in all of their glory, to sit on the rooftop restaurant and have your breakfast and gaze out at them. However, I personally recommend downtown Cairo or something near there because, again, like I said, the proximity to other sites. In Giza, the only thing to do near the pyramids is see the pyramids themselves. Outside of that, you're going to be battling your way through Giza traffic to get into Cairo, battling your way through Cairo traffic to see the sites that you want to visit. There's also very few options for food. There's not a lot of vibrant nightlife. At night, the streets are quite dark and empty. There's some unfortunate beggars and children and vendors trying to sell you souvenirs, taxi drivers looking for a ride. So I personally don't love it. For a night or two, it's fine if you do want to stay near the pyramids. There are also a lot of budget hotels down there, so you can spend $25, $30 a night. But I do recommend Cairo. I prefer it myself because there's a lot more happening in that area versus being far out into Giza. You are able to also go up to the rooftop of any one of those hotels and have breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or a mango juice, and look out at the pyramids. You do not need to be a guest at those hotels to dine there. Just something to note if that is something that you want to do while you are down visiting the pyramids but not actually staying there. I'll be making a video about accommodation down near the pyramids soon, which I will link up here when that is ready. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, so that you are notified when that video comes out. The reason I recommend staying in downtown Cairo is not only because of its vibrant streets, its many options of cafes and restaurants and shops, but also because when you stay in downtown Cairo, you are here. And staying by the pyramids is here. If you want to visit the Egyptian Museum, it is here. Khana Khalili Market is here. Islamic Cairo is here. Cairo Citadel, aka the Muhammad Ali Mosque, is here. Cairo Tower is here. Coptic Cairo is here. The National Museum of Egyptian Civilization, where all the mummies are, is here. And of course, the Nile is here, in case you want to visit a restaurant near the river or take a boat ride. So again, the only thing to do in Giza is to see the pyramids themselves and the Grand Egyptian Museum whenever that fully opens. But the rest of the time, you're going to be battling your way through Giza traffic to get into Cairo, battling through Cairo traffic to get to any of the ancient sites you want to visit. So I would recommend only a night or two near the pyramids and spend the rest of your time in or near downtown Cairo if I were you. That is my personal suggestion or my personal preference. Buses to other cities.
If you are looking to take buses to different cities around the country, if you don't want to pay for very expensive flights or trains, you have the companies Blue Bus and Go Bus. Right now I'm standing outside Go Bus station where you can buy tickets, very near to Tahrir Square and the Egyptian Museum. So I'm in downtown Cairo right now at the Tahrir Cairo station. If you are going to do that, you can take the bus across this very busy street is where it picks up in a parking lot. So you buy your tickets here, and then you would go across there to actually take your bus. But I have already made a video about how to do that, so if you are interested in taking the bus and getting more information about that, the cities they go to, the times, you can see the prices on the website. I'll leave the link to that video here. The cost of ancient sites in Egypt. So how much are you going to be spending here in Egypt when you are visiting the ancient sites and monuments? I'm here at the Giza necropolis. I just bought my general ticket, which allows you access to the necropolis, but not going inside any of the tombs or the pyramid of Khufu. So that ticket was 360 Egyptian pounds. And if you want to go inside the Khufu pyramid, that is going to be 600. However, prices are going to be changing very soon. As of December 1st, all ancient sites in Egypt, not just the pyramids, not just in Cairo, but all over Egypt, are going up by 50%. So be aware of that. So right now, the general ticket is 360, inside the Khufu pyramid 600, but that will be raising to 900 for going inside the pyramid as of December 1st, and the general ticket is going to cost 540 Egyptian pounds. At the moment, you cannot pay with cash either. If you are a foreigner, maybe if you're a local, I'm not sure about that, but 100% if you are a foreigner, you are going to need to pay with a card. So make sure to have that as well. I tried to pay with cash, they would not accept it. So yes, be aware of that plan for this trip. Most of the sites in Egypt are going to be your biggest expense if you are budget traveling. For me, the biggest cost in a day was always visiting ancient sites, because street food and food in general can be quite cheap if you're staying in hostels. That is, especially in hostel dorms, that is not too expensive, but ancient sites will hit your budget a little bit, so be prepared.
Tour companies. There are 1,001 tour companies in Egypt. Who to trust? What is a good price for a tour? Do I have any recommendations? I'm sorry to say, but I almost never take tours, so I don't have any companies that I can suggest that I have personal experience with. However, I do know of a company which I have heard good things about. It was actually recommended to me by an American friend I made in Nepal, and I have heard good things about the company. The reviews look good online. I've met the owner, he's a cool guy. But I don't have personal experience with these tours, but it's something you can check out for yourself if you are interested. If you are interested in that, the man's name is Joe. It's called iEgypt, and the website is called iegypttravels.com, which I will link in the description of this video. Another company I have never personally taken tours with, but have read good things about, is Egypt Adventures Travel. That company is actually run by a guy from Minnesota, the state where I am from in the US. He also has a YouTube channel called Egypt Adventures Travel, so maybe check that out. He has a lot of great, useful, informational videos about Egypt, and I would recommend seeing some of his videos. You can contact him there. He always leaves his information, and I will leave a link to that site as well, or his YouTube channel, and some information about his company. Disclaimer, both of these companies have no idea that I am mentioning them in my video. I am not partnered with them or making any type of money from them. They don't even know that I'm talking about them in this video, but I have heard good things about them. I've read some reviews online, and because I get asked a lot about tour companies from people online, I thought that I would mention them in the video. The other option is to explore solo, like me. It is definitely a lot cheaper than booking with a tour company. Of course, it is a lot more complicated, hectic at times, but it's also a lot more adventurous. So whatever you decide to do, best of luck and enjoy. I'll be making more videos about things that you should know before coming to Egypt, including things like bartering tactics, scams, tipping, etc. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you are notified when that video comes out. If you found this helpful, give it a like so that it will reach more people. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I will try to answer some of those questions in upcoming videos. And that's it. Welcome to Egypt and welcome to Cairo. She's chaotic, she's wild, she's beautiful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.